then tell everybody, thereby overthrowing him, putting you back on top.
Welcome to MsMojo. Today, we're looking at what the cast of The Big Bang Theory was up to before it all started with the Big Bang. Bang!
You have to pay your dues. I worked in the stables and helped in the kitchen.
Number 7, Melissa Rauch. Melissa Rauch is best known for her sweet, high-pitched purr as Bernadette Rostenkowski-Wolowitz, but she was hustling in Hollywood long before that.
Every single person RSVP'd yes. This is so exciting. Isn't this exciting?
Yep.
Her screen career began with the 2006 comedy Delirious, and you might have spotted her in I Love You Man, Kath and Kim, or True Blood. She's been pretty honest about how challenging it was breaking into the biz, even missing out on a commercial because of her hands.
I talked about how I lost some jobs early on in my career because of these hands and people being horrified at like commercial auditions when I would show them to the camera. They'd say, "Oh God, you're not getting a job." Yeah.
But she didn't let that stop her. Her performance in The Miseducation of Jenna Bush, which she co-wrote with her husband, helped her land an agent.
And I was in this big hoodie and my like fingerless gloves so I could get the flyers out, and my hands were all cracked. And this little girl comes out of The Lion King with her mom, and I was like, "Come see comedy."
She was literally at the unemployment office when she got her TBBT audition. What began as a one-episode gig in season 3 turned into 9 seasons as a fan favorite.
I was doing all these like mock interviews and seminars to qualify for my check, and I got the audition. I was over the moon, but I was like, "There's no chance I'm gonna get this." And I got a call saying that I was gonna have a call back, and I was like, "I have another seminar the next day. This is high-stakes poker. Do I roll the dice?" And I ended up going to the callback, thank God.
Number 6, Mayim Bialik. Mayim Bialik joined TBBT in the season 3 finale, first as a recurring character before becoming a main cast member in season 4. But she'd been in showbiz since childhood, debuting in the 1988 horror flick Pumpkinhead and landing small roles in Webster and MacGyver.
There's the police and the headmaster and...
Lisa, please. I really need your help.
But what if I'm caught? What if they stop me?
Well, at least you tried. Didn't you?
Her big break was playing young Cece Bloom in the 1988 dramedy Beaches. By 1991, she was headlining Blossom, inspiring kids everywhere to rock colorful hats and dance. Fun fact, one of her future co-stars appeared in an episode.
We were both 14, right?
Let's make
We kissed.
first stage kiss for us both.
Yeah.
Wait, it was both your first stage kiss?
Yeah. It might have been my first real life kiss.
She later took on smaller roles and did voice work for series like Kim Possible, Hey Arnold, and Recess.
Feelings? Only feeling I care about's the empty one in my belly. You gonna eat that?
That wasn't very thoughtful.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do now? Call me Cursed the Worst like everybody else? Huh? Plump burger?
After a break to earn a PhD in neuroscience, she returned to acting. Fitting, considering she played a neuroscientist on the show.
What exactly are you doing?
Determining baseline fear levels in capuchin monkeys by measuring their response to visual stimuli.
So goofing off.
Number 5, Kunal Nayyar. Before landing the role of Rajesh Kuthrapali, Nayyar emigrated to the US to earn a bachelor's in finance.
I never thought I would be up here. That's the truth. I remember being in your seat a few centuries ago and thinking, wow, you must have to be really smart to be invited up here.
But along the way, he caught the acting bug. He started performing in theater, eventually earning a master's in acting. He kept acting on stage and even landed a one-time role on NCIS. Now, as the story goes, The Big Bang Theory was Nayyar's first ever pilot audition, and we'd say it worked out pretty well.
Who in this room discovered a star?
Actually, 2008 NQ sub 17 is a planetary body.
I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. And you, my exotic young friend, are my star!
But it wasn't all smooth sailing. While Chuck Lorre personally backed him for the role, CBS wasn't convinced. They weren't even sure about the character and actually fired him before the show took off. Lorre fought to get him rehired, and honestly, we can't imagine Rauch or the show without him.
Are you saying you're just a boy? Standing in front of another boy? Saying you don't want him to leave? Sure.
Number 4, Simon Helberg. Before becoming Howard Wolowitz, Helberg was popping up all over TV and movies. You might just not have realized it.
I'm required to inform you that visitthepast.com is not responsible for the outcome of your trip or the altering of the time-space continuum. Time travelers have been known to experience nausea, vomiting, and premature hair loss. Taxes, license not included.
He had spots in Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Van Wilder, and A Cinderella Story. Oh, and get this. He played a Caltech engineer in Joey, the Friends spinoff. Talk about foreshadowing.
Sorry I'm late. I had a congratulatory phone call from Stephen Hawking. An honor, sure, but just...
Helberg also had a foot in the sketch comedy world, teaming up with Derek Waters to form the duo Derek and Simon. In 2007, they even had their own web series, Derek and Simon the Show, with Bob Odenkirk helping create it.
Do the characters out in the world. Do you get what I'm saying? What am I saying?
You said, do Slam Shepherd anywhere.
What am I
oh.
Comedy legends popped up in their other short films too. He was also a regular on Mad TV for a season in 2002 and had a small role in Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip.
We've been looking pretty hard for a baseball, and here's what we've come up with, so.
This is an orange that props painted to look like a baseball.
And this one explodes.
Number 3, Kaley Cuoco. Kaley Cuoco has been on our screen since she was a child, making her debut in the 1995 action thriller Virtuosity. She also appeared in Growing Up Brady, Ellen, and the Disney Channel movie Alley Cat Strike. But most of us first saw her comedy chops in 8 Simple Rules, where she played the popular yet ditzy Bridget.
Then get him to tell you an awful secret about himself. Then tell everybody, thereby overthrowing him, putting you back on top.
I take you to church.
Fine. Be a wannabe the rest of your life.
She kept landing roles in TV and film, even voicing Brandy in Disney Channel's Brandy and Mr. Whiskers.
Are you going to summer camp too?
No, I'm going to a 5-star spa to be pampered and spoiled, which, come to think of it, is sort of my life anyway.
Her next big gig was playing Billie Jenkins in Charmed, which allowed audiences to see her dramatic side. There were even talks of her returning for a spin-off series.
Oh my God! Billy, what happened?
I cannot believe this. I cannot believe what just happened.
Honestly, we're kind of glad that never happened, because if it had, she might not have been free to play Penny. Number 2, Johnny Galecki. Another child actor in the Big Bang Gang, Galecki made his screen debut in the 1987 miniseries Murder Ordained, acting alongside John Goodman, who he'd later reunite with on Roseanne.
I'm just excited. It was incredible, wasn't it?
Well, I don't have anything to compare it to, but I think we did pretty good.
There, he played David Healy, romantic interest to Darlene, played by Sarah Gilbert, who, fun twist, would later play his love interest Leslie Winkle on TBBT. You may have also spotted him in the short-lived 90s sitcom Billy or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. He also appears in I Know What You Did Last Summer and Hope and Faith.
Hope, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but only I get to say order up, because I'm the boss.
Aye, Captain.
You know, let's just stick with order up.
Despite his Roseanne success, Galecki admitted his career hit a bump in the road after he took a short acting hiatus. In fact, not long before landing Leonard Hofstadter, he had actually enrolled to study plumbing in Wisconsin.
I know, it sounds crazy. I wanted to open a design studio for bathrooms and spas, so I had to learn the plumbing of it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Jim Parsons. Jim Parsons played Sheldon Cooper so perfectly that it's hard to believe there was ever a time he wasn't.
I was expecting applause. But I suppose stunned silence is equally appropriate.
He dedicated much of his early years to stage acting, from co-founding the Texas-based Infernal Bridegroom Productions to becoming a regular at the stage's Repertory Theater.
There was more theater on tap than necessarily speech tournaments, and I thought, well, I'm a natural fit for this.
Still, you might have caught him in a few minor screen roles, commercials, or even Garden State. Parsons once shared he auditioned for 15 to 30 pilots a season, facing rejection or seeing the shows never take off. Among the roles he reportedly could have had were Barney Stinson in How I Met Your Mother and an undisclosed part in the US remake of The Office. If anything anything proves the right opportunity will come knocking, it's this. No one else could possibly fill Sheldon's spot.
It faces the television at an angle that is neither direct, thus discouraging conversation, nor so far wide as to create a parallax distortion. I could go on, but I think I've made my point.
Where do you first recall watching the DBBT cast? Let us know in the comments.
I'm gonna be a star!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.